Spotting the TLC is a method by which we will apply our compounds to the TLC plate. You will use a spot plate and dissolve your compounds. The solvent you use to dissolve the compound does not matter as long as it will dissolve it and it is volatile. It does not have to be the eluent. It will evaporate quickly and leave the compound on the plate and so won't affect the results. You will want to draw 3 points on your TLC plate. These should be about a centimeter from the bottom of the plate. This is where you will spot each of your compounds by taking a capillary or spotting pipette and drawing up some of your solution just by placing the tip in the liquid and then lightly pressing it onto your point so that a small amount of liquid comes out. Once each compound is spotted on the TLC, it is ready to be developed. Developing the TLC is done by placing about 5 milliliters of eluent, or enough that it won't cover the spots on your TLC plate but will touch the bottom of the plate, into a 250 ml beaker. This will be approximately 5 milliliters. You'll then want to place the TLC upright in this beaker, and then cover it with a watch glass in order to prevent your eluent from evaporating. The eluent will be drawn up into the silica on the TLC plate, and you will see it moving up the plate. It is done developing once it is about 5 millimeters from the top. In order to visualize the plate, once it is fully developed, you can remove it from the chamber and allow all the eluent to evaporate from it. You can wave it around a little if you need to. Once it is evaporated, you can put it under a UV light. This will cause the silica to fluoresce, but any compounds that have been left on the silica that you spotted will appear as dark spots. Determining which eluent you should use will be done by trial and error. What we want is for the compound of interest to have an RF value of about 0.3 on the TLC plate. The RF value is the ratio of the distance from the origin to the center of your spot to the distance from the origin to the solvent front. We will begin with an eluent of low polarity, such as a hexane. This will likely result in the spots on the TLC being near the origin, or an RF value of around 0. We will continue to increase the polarity of the eluent by mixing low polarity compounds such as hexane with a compound of greater polarity such as ethyl acetate until we get a TLC that gives our compound C an RF value of about 0.3. Once a proper eluent giving an RF value of about 0.3 for compound C is found, you will separate the mixture of ABC using column chromatography. First, the column must be packed. Begin by adding some of the eluent. Next, you want to create a slurry of silica gel and eluent. You want to swirl this and just pour it in the top. You want the silica gel to settle. In order to do so, you must open up your stopcock and allow the eluent to run through, and your silica will slowly move down. In order to facilitate proper packing, you want to tap it with a cork ring or a hose lightly as it runs out until the height of the silica gel column does not change. The eluent run out until the top of the column just sticks out of the liquid. However, do not let your column run dry. Let the solution containing your column that you will have mixed in your spotting plate run down the side of your column so that it just sits on top of the silica but does not disturb it. The compound should be dissolved in ethyl acetate or other organic compound. Next, open the stopcock and allow the eluent to run out until your solution absorbs into the silica column, and once again the top of the column just sticks out of the liquid. Once your solution with your compound is dissolved into the top of your silica column, you can pour eluent into your column. Just pour it down the side of your column so that it does not disturb the top of your silica column. You will want to pour about 70 milliliters of eluent on top of your column. At this point, you can start running it. Collected 10 or so fractions. You will want to test these using TLC to see which fraction compound C is isolated in. In order to compare, you will want to take your original solution of the mixture of 3 compounds and spot it on your TLC, and then take from your fractions and also spot those on your TLC. When you spot your original solution, you'll see 3 spots, one from compound A, one from compound C, and one from compound B. And you will be able to recognize compound C because it will show up in the same position from your fractions as it does from the original mixture. The fraction which gives compound C has this compound isolated,